start the day.
Good morning, everybody. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. We are live on the gram. Good morning, Holly Pennington over on the gram, and Dr. Kamaj. Thanks for joining in. Happy to see you guys here on this Tuesday. I don't have any coffee yet. Good morning, Regalado Realistic. That wasn't a rag on what the heck.
Is this clear that this is iced coffee now?
Yes. Well, it kind of looks like iced tea too.
You know what? I do have started brewing like a massive iced tea to like reduce my coffee intake instead of ripping like kind of these, which it's bad.
I get this song stuck in my head way too much.
I need the track.
I'll go to you. Dwayne, good morning. Thanks for joining us over on LinkedIn. Let me make sure I can get all this turned off. I'm trying to make everything go. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. I'm Mo Regalado. Over there is Miss Fly Jamerson, coming to us from Louisiana. So, we had some unhinged shit happen I think it initially happened on LinkedIn, right?
I can't tell. When people post screenshots of X on light mode, I'm always like, oh, what is that?
I know.
It confuses me. This is no shade on anybody. And my favorite one, my favorite one, because it's just sort of like, to me, X is black and LinkedIn is white. Like that, that is how I differentiate between them. And there is a dark mode on LinkedIn. I tried it. I didn't like it. Yep. But so people will post their screenshots and it's always very revealing because then you'll see the white screenshot come up in your timeline from X. And my favorite one, I hope I don't get banned. My favorite one to see that they're on light mode was Strip Mall Guy. Because for me, I'm just like, you're like a power user of X and you use light mode. It's just interesting to me to like see what people's preferences are. But no, I don't know. Danielle, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. I don't know. And she can actually tell us where some of these originated from. But there have been some feisty, spicy DMs being slung around and called out. And I am here for it.
So yesterday, Fly texts me and she's like, "Did you see this?" And I'm not even mentioning the first one you sent me because that wasn't even as unhinged.
No, that wasn't. That was like your par for the course. Like, oh, this is bad.
Somebody like pitch slapping you, right? Whatever. So Danielle, our good buddy Danielle, who I had the honor and pleasure to meet at CREI Summit. Just a lovely, lovely woman. She has a book out called WTF, Women That Flourish. And of course, WTF stands for many, many different things.
I love it. It's versatile.
It is very versatile. Hey, Eric Odin, thanks for joining us over on the gram. And she posted screenshots yesterday on X of this person who allegedly is a PR rep or something of that sort. And Danielle politely declines this woman's services. And this woman calls her a "see you next Tuesday."
Oh, yeah.
In the response.
Very explicitly.
It was like there was no, and if you need me to explain the "see you next Tuesday." Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, Danielle didn't do anything wrong. She politely declined, and this woman was unhinged in her response. It was
shocking. Was that on LinkedIn?
Thank you. Yeah, Danielle, was that on LinkedIn or was that on X when that all went down? So today we're going to be talking about digital professionalism. How do you respond to things like this? And what you can do to protect your brand so you don't become the person that we're talking about on Social Surge.
Well, and I do, there's a lot to be... The internet is tough. The internet is a tough place, and it's crazy because I feel like people, and I think this has been studied. I'll have to find out that the way that people present themselves online, whether or not it's like in main feed or in the DMs or what, like people do not have the same. People do not have the same level of filters that they would. Like would you actually say something like that to somebody's face? People, like, there's a level of anonymity and anonymousness.
The anemone.
Thank you. That comes with, especially on X, right? But like when you are using your real persona and your real name and your real business to interact with people, like, bro, you're gonna get called out.
Right. So not only that, but I would really love for this person to have seen that in a not necessarily keyboard warrior mentality. Yes, what the heck? That is exactly it. I would love to see how this woman responds to this whole thing. Like, I would screenshot Danielle's tweet and be like, here, this got posted. What do you have to say? And I would love to hear what her response is to this. I would almost hazard a guess that she'll go, oh, my account got hacked.
Oh, yeah, that's a very common. Yeah, that's a funny.
My account got hacked.
One time I saw literally this person had no other cover. They had no alibi other than just like, haha, that's weird. Just like, gloss over it, which, is like I feel a very common gaslighting tactic. Maybe not. Yes. Maybe that one's a stretch.
Morning, Marcy Penny from Denver. Happy that you're here. I would just, yep.
Yeah.
I didn't tag her on purpose, but I wouldn't hate if you did that.
And then I do want to point out, because I pulled this up too. This was actually, Danielle, you posted this a couple of days ago and I hadn't seen it. I'm like, I've been spotty in my actual like social, watching right now. Cause I've been really focused on some of my work and internal stuff. So I haven't seen a lot of what's going on in the feed, but then, yeah. So Tanner Webster had posted about a repeated person going in their inbox, like with the same exact, like horrible, low value, no value, cold pitch. And then like Skylar Ramines actually retweeted Danielle's thing. So it's just like, it's really cool. It is really cool to see, again, the community like of people that, is sort of like comes out of CRI Summit and then like, retweet and all that stuff. It's cool to see how this group kind of watches each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it again in the future. Screenshots live forever. I've talked about the fact that I got fired from a job because I was a social media manager. I ran a community group of 11,000 people. I called a group of them in the community group a bunch of dumbass douche canoes. And it was within... respectively, it was within the vein. It was well respected for me to say what I said. However, somebody did screenshot it and they sent it to, because like I didn't like, it was a month later that I got fired. They actually sent that screenshot to the owner of the company and was like, you need to get rid of this woman, she sucks. Whereas the entire community that I manage understood why I said what I said. And then I was asked, well, why didn't you delete it? And I said, because screenshots live forever, clearly, right? So I've been on this other side. I know that screenshots live forever. You have to be super careful with how you portray yourself, and especially in the comments. And I've talked about this before. I just said that again. I actually had a tweet about this, about somebody in my feed who kept commenting on certain pictures. And I'm like, dude, you're a really nice guy. Like I had conversations with you. You're really, really nice. Stop being creepy McCreeperson, right? Because like we can all see what you're writing, and this is
wasn't there also like some dude on your account once asking for feet pics?
Probably.
Like you'll see these accounts. I hope so now. Like the X algorithm, maybe we should talk about this on Thursday, but the X algorithm has been like crazy right now because they're doing a lot of stuff internally to like change who sees what and like how posts are recommended to you. And then also to try to get rid of like bot and scam and like weird accounts like that are like, and I remember that particular one started, it was like a kind of just like a general random compliment from a random small account. And then
it devolved into feet pics.
And then it devolved into being like, would you send me pictures of your beautiful feet? It's like, no, not at all.
Oh, I love this, Marcy Moneypenny. If you wouldn't want it on the front page of the newspaper, don't do it. Yes, I think this is exactly correct. And not only that, but I think so. The issue that I have with this whole commentary that happened to Danielle is the fact that I don't think people expect to get called out on their bad behavior on social media. I don't know if it's the thought process of like, oh, we all behave badly. It's like, no, like if that's not how you want yourself to be portrayed, why would you put that in a DM? Why would you tell somebody like that? And if you, like I said, go to Danielle's profile on X and you can see the comment there. It is just freaking wild. And there's definitely a difference between defending your brand and damaging your brand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And I thought, what I was going to say is that I do think that it is helpful, while it can be sort of like it can kind of take people out of the, what's the word? I do feel like sometimes people forget that like everybody on the internet is a real person. And so like, what I mean to say by this is that, I do think that more people should be called out by their bad behavior, and the nuances of how you do that and address these sort of things. I mean, to me, it sort of goes back to the conversation we had last week about Brandon Avedikian and having his post ripped off, and then like there are several other bad actors that we know who will cheat and steal on people's content, but just like if you were in the internet makes us think it isn't real. Like the internet makes us think that it's not.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And so it's like if you were at a party or if you were at a networking event and you went up to somebody and you were like, hey, like, do you like I have this thing to offer for
Can I get some feet pics?
No, it's just like, you meet people and it's very like it is like sales. A lot of people like do not achieve like do not have like a sort of like a natural innate ability to it for sales, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of it can sometimes feel forced and contrived, but it's like if you went up to somebody and approached them like you were doing a cold DM to offer them something, first of all, you probably wouldn't do that. I've been on the rough side of some of them. But then if they were like, oh no, thanks, I'm not interested, or it's like, oh, just like the polite, I'm not interested right now. Like imagine if you were cold calling someone. We never talk about this, but like we talk about all the time how about like, you cold call somebody and then like if it's a bad situation, they're like, okay, F you, get out. Like, how'd you get my number? Don't ever call me again. Right? Like that. We hear a lot about that. Can you imagine if you cold called somebody and they were not interested, but they were, oh, I'm not interested in selling right now. And then you were like, F you. Like you just like, that is an insane way to do business in real life.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. I like I told you when I saw that. Good morning, Justin. When I happened to see that, I was actually like my flabbers were gasted, right? I was like,
we're not warmed.
It was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Right. Like to go from 0 to 100 and that level of aggression. Okay, first of all, don't ever do that in a cold pitch DM. Now, second of all, normally I would say, I would have probably, because like I've shared certain things and I've crossed out their names or or I put a picture over their face. But when it comes to this, where this level of aggression that happened in the DM, I don't have a problem with you naming and shaming. Generally, for the most part, I would probably say no. But it was so wild and so unhinged. It was just like, are you freaking kidding me? And you call yourself a professional? So let's talk about like why you should probably step back. So if something like this were to happen to me, generally my initial response is I respond very poorly, and then I delete my message, and then I wait to go back to it. Or I have what the heck off to my left, generally, who's like, do not post that. That is not good. Do not post that. and I remember,
first of all, I can always tell because I know what's going on. And so like when you do like a vague frustrated X post, I'm just like, either I don't already know and then I text you, or I'm like, oh yeah, I know yeah. What that's about. But I do, like, you pull your punches. So, and like, you have to sometimes, like you do. I'm doing Adam Dunn's 100-day sprint in 2025, and it's like day 7, it's like 78 days left, and one of my things is post on LinkedIn every day. I have not posted on LinkedIn every day. I have written for LinkedIn every day and then have finished the thing and been like, and then like go and to post it, and I'm just like, I might need to dial this back. And so I'm missing posts because I'm pulling my punches, but that's another topic.
No, so like that goes back to understanding where your priorities lay and where you have to pay attention to. And sometimes it's not worth it to get into a flame war with somebody on social media because it just doesn't benefit anything. So think about the fact that here's what I think happens with people on social is that, especially like when you look at this DM, when you look at it, and this woman clearly feels entitled.
Oh yeah.
To be in Danielle's inbox, right? To be in her DMs. And then 2, she wants to be validated, right? But when somebody politely declines, and like Danielle was really, really nice about it. There's no reason for you to go, like, there was, as far as I'm concerned, there was no reason for this woman to behave the way that she behaved. It was totally bizarre. But again, it's that sense of entitlement. Don't ever jump into, like, yes, we realize it's the internet, right? We realize it's the internet. Don't feel it like somebody has to respond to you because you freaking jump in their DMs. Like I've literally written posts about this, if you're going to pull my hair, got to buy me dinner first. There's like, you can't just jump into my DMs and expect me to respond and be happy about it. It's why I made a whole freaking sticker called Pitch Slapped.
I got to re-up on those, by the way, but bam.
And I like actually take that graphic that I made and I throw it in. I don't even respond. I just put the graphic in there. It says, you've been pitch slapped. In all honesty, you don't even have to respond to that. But I would like to say that when it comes to things like this, it is totally up to you whether or not you're going to respond to it. I would highly recommend calling out the behavior, right? It's not always easy to call out the person, but definitely call out the behavior because that's not acceptable.
Yeah, coming from, and it is interesting because, I do think that there are some cities and some parts of the country that, and this is specifically in reference to sort of comments of like, this is Jersey, or like, Danielle's from Jersey, or like, Justin's talking about like New York and DC, right? All these different cities. There is a culture of like a level of profanity that is, what's the word? Sort of like a part of the business milieu, like, but there's a line, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you get all these, you look at these, like, the sort of stereotypical, like, all these bros in the bullpen, and they're all like, yeah, like locker room talk and all this stuff, right? Like or like people on the street, telling people to F off or whatever, you know what I mean? So like in some of these cities, there is a level of culture of the way that people talk to each other is a little bit more vulgar, but like this, this is such a specific, it's such a specific instance of
what not to do.
Well, yes, what not to do, but I do also want to like label on it, you know, what Danielle, I love what Danielle does. I love what you do, Danielle, with your WTF and how you always put different words in it. It's an incredible vessel, but like what you actually said on your X post was when tact fails. And there is a level of tact that is required in this business, and it can easily fall apart. Fall apart in the DMs.
It's like not even that. I mean, like, yeah, I get like different cultures, different areas of the country have a different way of talking. It is the fact that this woman was pitching business in Danielle's DMs, and Danielle politely declines, and this woman has a fully unhinged response. Like, again, that entitlement personality. Who the hell do you think you are to call me that? Like, I think Danielle handled this with grace. I think she handled it very well. And as a warning to everybody else, like, watch out for this person. She's verified on X. She's got, you know, a LinkedIn account. Danielle says that they're not connected on either. So she jumped into her DMs, jumped into them. And Danielle was nice enough to give her the time of day to even give her a response. I mean, I don't have it pulled up on my computer. We could probably share it, but it was just, it's so bizarre to me that somebody, like, especially in our profession where it is a service industry, right? We help people with their social media. This woman allegedly helps people with PR. If you are a PR representative and that's how you respond to somebody, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm pretty sure there's no PR class anywhere in the world, except for maybe the PR class of Andrew Dice Clay. And that is a very, very, very old reference for a lot of people. But like, in what world is that okay to respond like that? So what I would encourage everybody who's listening to us today, I would encourage you to remember that when you respond to somebody online or in their comments, would it be okay if this got screenshotted and sent to my boss? Or in some instances, is this okay if it gets screenshotted and sent to my wife or my daughter? Because there are some nasty ass comments that happen. The next thing is, are you responding to this conflict to win the argument or to resolve it? Right? So is it a win or is it a resolution? Some people are going to argue with you no matter what. You could say the sky is blue and they'd be like, bitch, no, it's purple, right? Like, there are people online that is their whole purpose. I know people like this. They are freaking retired and all they do is start arguments online. That is their entertainment for the day.
Can't wait. That sounds great.
That sounds lovely. And the last thing that I want to touch on about this is when you are commenting, when you are posting, when you are in DMs, and I'm not talking about personal DMs. I'm talking about business pitching. Oh, I love that.
Money Penny with the you've had a couple of really good shirt lines lately.
Yeah, I'm probably rude. I work in PR. It's the last thing that I want to leave you with about this is that does that message align with your brand and what you're trying to accomplish? Honestly. Good morning, Missa, who joined us over on the gram, and George Bonvillian, which, I mean, we haven't
George Boveland.
How great that last name is.
It's Boveland. George and I used to work together in Louisiana, and he's recently moved.
Boveland? What happened to the N?
A girl, it was Louisiana. It's Cajun.
Apologies, my friend, for checking that.
He's recently moved to Atlanta, and go check him out. I'm really excited for what he's doing in his next chapter. He's he's been a broker in the business for a number of years. And so he is staying in claim in the great state of Georgia. So it's good to see you back, George.
What does he specialize in?
Office. But I'm not sure what he's done. He's done a lot. He's done like branding. He's done marketing. He's done recruiting. He's a great guy. So
have we connected him with Mr. Ken Ashley there?
We shall.
Yay. Okay. That's good.
All
right. So just remember that screenshots live forever, and we can see what you comment. And the best way to respond to conflict when somebody brings up some crap like this is to call out the behavior, and make sure to lead with curiosity and not with anger about it, because it's very easy to lead with anger. I believe that Danielle did a really good job, even though I don't normally recommend like calling out a person, but this was so unwarranted. The response was so freaking wild that I'm glad that she did, because if this person ended up in my DMs and was like, hey, I can get you, blah, 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 blah. And if I had responded and she had been that rude to me, I'd have been like, oh, bitch, it's on like Donkey Kong. We're going toe to toe.
I would not want to cross you.
Just, I'm really mean, and I don't think about it until like the words come out. And then I'm like, oh, ooh, sorry.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, so, and okay, look, also the benefit of being on the internet is that you can wait and figure out how to respond. It's not, and it's not on the phone. It's not in person. You have the benefit of being able to step back. And I'm on the other side of the fence. I would not recommend necessarily like wasting, like using up a lot of energy, being like, oh, how do I respond to this? Like, if you're like, no, but you do have the benefit of being able to consider how you're going to approach the discussion.
Okay, so interesting. So Danielle, I guess, was this an email, or this was all email, or oh yeah, was it email, or was it done through one of the social platforms? So excuse us for first of all for not getting that correct. I thought this happened in DMs, but if these are emails, that's even worse. That's wild.
All email, she said. That's crazy.
That is absolutely crazy.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen some pretty vulgar emails come across too. But yeah, but it's not. It is not. This happens everywhere. This happens in text messages. This happens in all the platforms, because it is, what it is actually is just the mediatized form of regular human social behavior. Like, people are this way. And it's just that if you you would probably never, very rarely experience this in person, in public, so publicly. And so people feel,
and maybe that's what has to happen. Like, maybe we need to start calling people out more and showing their faces when it comes to stuff like this, because of the fact that they have gotten away with it. How many other people has she done this to in email? Like, this is just so freaking wild. I'm my flabbers are gasted about this whole thing, because like, I just can't imagine you're trying to get business from somebody and you're literally calling them horrific names in an email because they politely and respectfully decline. That is never okay.
People are not entitled to you. This is what I'm going to say. So like, and I have been thinking about this a lot actually in some areas of my own business, but people are not entitled to you, or for you to give them anything, any piece of you. And I understand that in this business that there is a level of, there's a difference between like showing up and adding value and investing time into a relationship, when we're talking about like doing our own business development and sales. And then there's also people who are taking advantage of you, or people trying to do this kind of stuff where they see an opportunity to get you to transact with them in a way that really truly only benefits them, or it's just not in alignment with your goals at this time. Right. Like, there are times that I've done and unparticipated in things that like were more alignment in my goals than they are now. But like, So, and like, just as another, like, you do not have to pay somebody for something. You do not have to lower your fee for something for somebody, because it would benefit them and not you. Like, it is really tough, right? Because we do have to do things in this business that in the short term may like not make business sense, but in the long term they should. And if it's not in alignment, don't do it. And like, you are not responsible for their reaction. They shouldn't react like that though, but you're not responsible for that.
Correct. And you don't have to carry it, and you don't have to keep it with you. What I appreciate about what Danielle did is that she warned us about this person, because, you know, if this person sent me an email or jumped in my DMs, I'd be like, I don't want to deal with you. I already know that you've already shown me that you are a toxic personality, and it is not somebody that I want to spend my energy on. So remember, screenshots live forever. Stop before you respond. And really think about how all of your online interactions affect your brand. We will be back here on Thursday. We've got some new videos popping up in Social Mastery VIP. We just uploaded one yesterday or the day before. I really can't remember. But we'd love to have you in there. So it's school.com, Social Mastery VIP. Fly and I are in there. And we would love to see you in there too. Don't forget, we'll be back here on Thursday. We will see you then. Bye.